Ahead of the 2027 general elections, a social-cultural group, Orisun Igbomina, in Kwara South Senatorial District, is pushing for equitable representation in political offices. Well, the president of the group said in 2007, when Dr. Bukola Saraki wanted to run for a second term as governor, there were about 5 Igbomina sons who also showed interest in the position. While Saraki prevailed on them with a promise to hand over to Igbomina after his second term. He said the group led the advocacy across Kwara South and the long-run interest of Kwara South and Igbomina in particular, which led to the emergence of Dr. Abdul Fattah Ahmed as governor in 2011. Well, similarly, in 2023, the group says it had the last three of their sons jostling for the Kwara South senatorial seat, but chose to support Senator Lola Ashiru for a second term to complete Ibolo Axis's 12 years, since the Ekiti Axis have also occupied the seat for 12 unbroken years, so it can come to Igbomina. Well, the group says it is only fair that people from Ekiti and Ibolo extraction throw their weights behind Igbomina in 2027. All right, joining us to discuss this issue is Wahid Olarewaju Abolaji, the immediate past special assistant to the governor of Kwara State on special duties for Kwara South. He's presently the publicity secretary of Kwara State. He advocates a political mobilization group advocating equity and fairness, not only in Kwara South, but also in Kwara State at large. Glad to have you join us on Newsnight, Wahid.
Yes, thank you for having me, Indy.
All right. You're pushing for equitable representation. How so and why?
Yes. Let me quickly recap. You will recall that prior to 2019, Kwara State has been under the what we term the stranglehold of a political dynasty that had held Kwara down for decades. And not until when Kwarans were fed up with the said dynasty that a kind of political uprising sprang up in Kwara State. And that popular uprising, Otoge uprising, sprang up.
Yeah.
And it was to the glory of God and the grace of this uprising that the dynasty was ousted in 2019. To the glory of God, Kwarans are beginning to settle down politically, because hitherto, before the Otoge uprising, whoever becomes what in Kwara State is at the whims and caprices of the so-called dynasty.
That is the Saraki dynasty.
Yes.
Okay.
Ordinary councillors can never be elected in their respective wards without the approval of the power, the then power that be. And to the glory of God, that was then. We are now in New Kwara.
So Saraki is no longer the governor. So how does this play? How does he play a role here?
Yes. I am an Ibolo man from Kwara South. Kwara State.
This is interesting. You're not even of
I'm
Igbomina
not an
extract.
Igbomina. I am an Ibolo person from Kwara South. It will interest you to note that Kwara State is one big heterogeneous society. I doubt if there is any state that is as heterogeneous as Kwara State. We have many tribes who are indigenous of Kwara State. For instance, you know about Kwara North, where we have 4 different tribes laying claim to Kwara North. We have the Nupes, the Barotin, the Batunon, the Boko Baru, and even the Yorubas in Moro of Kwara North. Now, coming back to Kwara South, that is my own senatorial district. Predominantly in Kwara South, we are Yorubas.
Yeah.
Among the Yorubas, there are 3 major sub-ethnic nationalities in Kwara South. You've mentioned the Igbomina. I am Ibolo, and we have Ekiti. Undoubtedly, Kwara South is almost half of Kwara State. The biggest, the largest senatorial district in Kwara State. There are 16 local governments altogether in Kwara State. 7 of those local governments are in Kwara South. There are 193 electoral wards altogether in Kwara State. 83 of those electoral wards are in Kwara South. There are 24 state constituencies in Kwara State. 10 of those constituencies are in Kwara South. Having said that, let me now calm down. In Kwara South, Igbomina alone occupied 3 local governments. That is Irepodun, Ifelodun, and Isin local governments. The Ibolo people of Kwara South, that is where I come from, we occupy just 2 local governments, Oyun and Ofa local government. Then the Ekiti, Kwara have 2 local governments, Ekiti local government and Okiero local government.
So apparently Igbomina is more in number.
Not only more in numbers, out of the 83 wards that we have in Kwara South, Igbomina, the 3 local governments, have 40 wards out of the 83. That is to say, Igbomina alone is almost half of Kwara South with their 40 wards. And let me just shock you again. In Kwara State, Igbomina has one of the largest local government, Ifelodun, with 18 wards alone.
And yet they've not tasted power.
Between 1999 and 2003, an Igbomina man was elected to represent Kwara South in the Senate. Unfortunately, he lost the bid to run for 2nd term to an Ekiti man from Kwara South. Distinguished Senator Ajadi was the only Igbomina. Senator S.M. Ajadi was the only Igbomina who had ever been a senator representing Kwara South. Thereafter, an Ekiti man, distinguished Senator S.S. Ajibola from Ekiti axis of Kwara South, became the senator. And he was at the Senate for 3 uninterrupted terms, spanning 12 years, to represent Kwara South from Ekiti axis. And don't forget, Ekiti just has 10 local government. After Senator Ajibola came late Senator Rafiu Ibrahim of blessed memory. Between 2015 and 2019, Senator Rafiu Ibrahim from Ibolo axis of Kwara South became the senator. Unfortunately for him too, he lost the bid to return to the Senate for the 2nd term.
Let me ask you this because of time. So when I was discussing with you off camera, and just like now, I was surprised, I don't want to add pleasantly, that an Ibolo is speaking for Igbomina. It's interesting that not an Igbomina is speaking now. So what are the Ibolo and Ekiti people saying so far? Are they aligned? Because you're just one person. Are they aligned with this? Have you convinced them to dance to Igbomina's tune because you're Ibolo?
At the moment, in Kwara South specifically, there seems to be a consensus that it is now time for Igbomina man to represent Kwara South in 2027. And the consensus is gaining momentum each day.
Day by day.
This is because...
Is the governor who, according to you, Igbomina's son, supported, is he in support of your aspirations, the governor, present governor now?
Yes, the present governor is in support of the agitation, the general agitation for equity, fairness, and justice at the moment.
And equity, fairness, and justice, is that an Igbomina man?
And it is the time of an Igbomina man to represent Kwara South at the senatorial election come 2027.
Okay, so it's just for the Senate?
It's just for the Senate.
For the Senate, okay.
Yes, because you see, at the moment, I told you after the success of the Otoge, we are now moving to the next phase. And the next phase is the agitation for equity, fairness, and justice. It is a kind of conflagration, unquenchable conflagration that is going on in Kwara State at the moment. Now we are settled. We want everybody to be given sense of belonging in the same polity that we belongs to. Gone were those days when one section of the community we now lord over the other community. If Igbomina, that is by far the largest in Kwara South at the moment is not lording itself over the rest, there is no reason why other section of Kwara South should lord over Igbomina.
Okay, before I let you go, by the way, all Igbomina's sons, they agreed on this, and what inroads have they made so far to realize this particular dream? Because power is not just handed to
power
you.
not be handed on a platter.
Yeah.
That is known. I said unquenchable conflagration have been ignited in Kwara South at the moment. It is not only about Igbomina this time around.
Yeah.
It is about the entire senatorial district, mind you. And similar agitation is also going on across the state. You might have heard that even in Kwara State, peaceful agitation, peaceful dialogue, consultation is going on in Kwara. You might have heard that even in Kwara State, Kwara North are agitating to occupy government house by 2007. This is the kind of thing that is going on in Kwara State at this moment. And it will interest you to know that even the agitation for Kwara North to occupy government house in 2027 was initiated by Kwara South. As the saying goes, he who come to equity
must come with
clean hands. If Kwara South is now agitating for equity, fairness, and justice, I think we should take the lead by emulating it right on our own doorstep.
Wahid, interesting discussion. Wahid Olarewaju Abolaji, the immediate past special assistant to the governor of Kwara State on special duties for Kwara South. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Discuss the politics of Kwara.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
All right.